safer map for that.
Let's see what happens, as it is Team Infused once more starting their journey off here on the city side. And for them, that's an advantage that they will be looking to try and carry through as far as the scoreline is concerned. FM, if you missed it, are 1-0 in this series, looking to try and pull into first position, the pole position of the playoffs. But Infused, they have something to say about it. Now's time to speak. We are going to see FM look to try and sneak their way towards this A site. They've got men coming from all angles. Looks like they're going to boost one up into the window area as well as where it comes from it. So it is literally all angles. 4 spots to come from. And here it all is. Pickles finds the opening frag onto Nilzinho's head. Shaney going to find 2 quick taps. And he does reload and gets sandwiched. But now Pickles moving onto the site, sitting on the bomb, and it's only Stanley left alive as he falls on back. He has recovered a USP, but what can he do with it? Not much so far. There's one, but can he find any more? No, it's all done. Lumji finds the final frag, and it is Infused 1-0 in this series.
Shaney, he's been a cool kid there at school, you know, just kind of decides, you know what, I'm just going to whip it out right now, take a few shots, and they're both going to be back-to-back headshots because, you know, that's just how it works, apparently. That's CSGO for you, and yeah, almost much as that almost sounds like a bit of a joke, it is just a comedic way of elaborating the raw skill that Shaney just brought to the fold there. That double kill had so much value as it cuts down that A push. Now they begin to go, you know, have a bit more fun with these SMGs. It's the perfect start, right? They get the scout in play, Shaney. He's going to be kind of the overlooking mid and looking down towards drop. The job here for Infused is just to try and keep it clean, but it's not looking too good towards ramp. As Fry with the Tech 9 starts to really pepper down some damage. An eventual frag, Stanley over towards window as well, just another on towards Shaney. But that split to come through connector, open things up for what should be a pretty strong crossfire.
What we basically said about Infused was that their holding positions wasn't strong enough to handle Team FM coming through, breaking on into the site, and you can see it's happened again. Once more, their holding positions very passive, waiting, and FM were able to rush on in with their raw aim. Shiki though, he now has found himself the 1 versus 1, but it's 3 HP versus 21. He can't afford to be hit by a single shot. We'll have to see if he's able to pull this one off just around that box. There it is! And Weber won't be able to find a kill. In fact, it is Shiki who gets the kill, the defuse, and he keeps the momentum alive.
A real big round there from Shiki, being able to connect that 2-0, keeping it together as we mentioned. Is exactly what Infused needed. If we saw FM strike back up there and take it 1-1, that's where FM already start to go, you know what, let's get hype, boys, let's go. Let's start screaming our heads off as they build back into it. They go in for the early buy and they get the advantage. So for Infused to keep it 2-0 is a big insurance policy, but they've got their payout. Now they can't go for another reclamation. They've got to be clean still here. They've got to dismantle these Eagles, take down these P250s, stop giving them so many opportunities. Weber able to find a shot there on towards Shaney as he spams away with the Deagle.
Just consistent shots waiting for the peak, and he will be able to find that one. It's not all over for Team Infused. There's still plenty of chances for them in this round, but every kill they give over to FM is a dangerous proposition. We saw it already in that previous round. Now we are going to see once more FM pushing the bomb, making its way up towards the B site via short. See if she can hold this one all together as the Molotov goes through. It pushes Stanley out of his little hiding spot with Nilzinho. He's dropped on in via the ladder room, and the pressure is on. As FM look to try and take over the side, and M4 in Nilzinho's hands could be disastrous for Shiki here. Shiki up close will have to hit every shot, and it's the Deagle spam coming through as well. It in fact hits onto Shiki through the smoke. Extra damage coming through is not what the Infused need, and that's exactly why Nilzinho will take your head off.
So many always just phrases that bring back to the idea of, you know what, just know. Infused, you shouldn't be letting this one happen. This is disastrous. You have yourself a crossfire, but you're very much clutching at straws here. You bring it back to a 3 versus 3. There's 20 seconds on the clock, so keeping it down and dropping that bomb has a lot of impact to it. As Lumji starts to really dart back over on towards A now with 2 players here. FM, they've got to go for those frags. It's going to be quick as anything as Weber will win the battle. Pickles there on the trade. The Deagle starts to fire on through. 10 seconds left and Aussie will put the final bullet in towards Fry. But it shouldn't be that close. Infused, you may well be 3-0, but what does that change? The answer really isn't too much because FM, they're going to go into this buy with so much confidence. They've been able to bring it to 1 versus 1s and 2 versus 1s. With no investment at all. Now imagine what they can do with AK-47s, all that utility. it literally is going to be that perfect throw of that flash to provide that entry, completely changing the court.
Absolutely. FM, they have put up a strong case in their pistol rounds, and now as we do head on to the guns, it's a scary time for Infused, whether or not they'll be able to hold those angles. From what we've seen on Cobblestone, and I guess technically Mirage as well so far, their CT side is not strong. It's not strong enough. Yes, they can get it going, but you have to. They had to play so proactively on Cobblestone to do it. Mirage is a map that you can play proactively, but how many times can you do it before you start getting punished by a team? Perhaps you push up mid every now and again, or push that A ramp, but only can happen every now and again. You can't be consistently looking to try and push the terrorists back, because then they just go to the other side of the map, or they come up behind you. There's just too many angles to defend. And it's a scary time for Infused. If FM are able to do what they want to do, continue this through, then that's going to tide in their favor.
Yeah, for sure. I think kind of when you look at these two teams, I think we can still expect things to get closer and closer, as you mentioned, but there is at least one plus side for Infused, right? It's not like we kind of want to sit here and go, yeah, they're 3-0 up right now, but they're playing so bad. No, that's not the case. It's just really kind of is a close-shaved scoreline. But kind of at least that positive, as I mentioned, is the fact that they are 3-0 up. If they can connect this first buy and kind of fix their mistakes, but it's not like they don't know what they are.
Yeah.
They've been able to kind of test the water somewhat against these pistols. So at least they can now be sitting there during this tech pause, and albeit it is a tech issue, so it's something that isn't all that great to be, and you don't necessarily have too much opportunity to sit down and chat. But, you know, you could have a few players going, you know what, I'm going to at least think to myself, okay, what position can I change? Can I play A site differently? Can I be in a different place? Can I rotate a little bit quicker? And even those subtle kind of micro decisions for each player could change the way that somewhat this CT side play themselves, and that could lead them to a round win over a loss, because they have been very, very close kind of in those 1 versus 1s and 2 versus 2s, where a lot of it doesn't kind of rely on team strategy and composition. It comes down to raw skill as an individual and being able to play with your teammate in that kind of 2v2.
Mirage is a great map for the AWP dominance, and we've seen that Infused are able to use that gun in the CT side. They're able to make quick work of it. So when eventually their economy does build up to a stage where their AWP purchases will be coming through, then there is a chance for them to, you know, start looking to hold those angles a little bit more carefully. So we'll have to see. Unfortunately for them, though, their economy has been fairly busted in the early rounds, and so this purchase that you see on the screen, the AWP there for Shaney, well, this could just be their last if FM are able to take this round.
So it's going to be a big one, is what you're saying. They've got to use that weaponry, find those frags, and force the issue. Infused doing just that. They push through Palace. They charge on forward, but Fry comes flying out of ramp, takes down Pickles, knows exactly where his second player is going to be, finds himself another frag on towards Shaney, and this is disastrous. Infused falling for this one hook, line, and sinker. As FM begin to well and truly make this charge happen, Lumji can at least try and find that trade. Does just that, walks out, looks for a second, but Izinio, pretty much the entirety of FM, they've got themselves wrapped around, entwined into the core of this map, into each and every angle that makes Mirage whole. There's going to be another peek out on another trade, but FM, they're happy to trade. It's a 3 versus 1. This is done and dusted. FM, welcome to the scoreline.
Absolutely. If they take this M4 off Aussie, then the purchases for Team Infused will be very weak. So a very great opportunity now to just nail the case home. That's exactly what we're talking about. The attempted aggressive plays, the proactive plays, whatever you want to call them here, can be punished so easily by FM just by peeking a different angle, and in the end FM will be able to take that M4 off Aussie as well.
The AWP too have to interject there and highlight the fact that Nilzino was kind of able to sneak in with the AWP. That's so much value for FM.
Certainly is. It's going to be some Deagle upgrades. They're going to force down their entire economy to reset it. And FAMAS, a scout as well. And some armor built up as well for them. But it's a weak buy. Team Infused need to make every frag count. Cheney currently being denied that with the smoke to allow everyone to cross safely into mid.
Does at least give them that segue opportunity to get themselves behind those mid boxes, to throw out the utility that you've got lined up, that being the Molotov and smokes you can do to either go down on towards A at the tip of connector, or the further short point, which allows you to go ironically towards short. So a lot of opportunities for them off the back of being able to get to those boxes. But just because you've got mid control doesn't mean you can do anything with it. It's a very much double-edged sword. So far, to get a bit of damage down, but all they're doing is saying, hey, you know what, here's a target on our back. You know exactly where we're playing. Now set yourselves up to be comfortable. Set yourselves up to handle us, slay the crash almost, as we begin to make a push.
Well, they are going to find one. A quick pick from Lungi will upgrade that Deagle towards an AK, but FM, they have men poking all sides of the cow, and it will be this B push now as they've got 40 seconds to execute. Shiki with his back turned as everyone rounds the corner, manages to get away. I spoke too soon. Nilzinho does find the clip, and now Weber will take out Aussie. Just Shaney there on the rotate, and he's not got the HP. A good backstab from Stanley leaves Lumji all by himself, AK in hand. The next round, it's a save. There's nothing left to play for here. So Lumji will have a hard task ahead of him. Does he try and take this AK forward, or does he backstab? Well, Weber, he answers the question before we even get to pull up the whiteboard, start our equations going. It is FM 2-3 now. The money once more for Infused not there, and a chance to tie the scoreline.
Just that quick instinctive decision to go towards B really kind of held so much value for this T side, because if they stuck it out in mid and tried to really kind of force Infused over towards A, then we'd be looking at a completely different score. We'd be looking at more than likely would have been a reversal hit for Infused. Unfortunately for them, they were kind of lowered into this position, and now they are just going to be lammed to the slaughter. They stand dead set, ready to be taken down, annihilated by the sheer weaponry, the brunt force that FM have got in play. They don't find themselves a single frag. Shiki gonna get shot through the wood, down to 3 HP. That's practically a frag at this point, as he is just there with a USP to perhaps jump around a bit, rear his head, and allow Weber to take him down once and for all.
Not going to happen. Weber is able to finish that one off. A clean round there for FM, and as expected, they do tie the scoreline up, bringing us to 3-3. Now for Team Infused, round 7, they get those M4s back, but the utility purchases will be very weak. It's going to be limited utility, and Shaney, he in fact opts on in to get that glass cannon AWP for his team to try and make that impact play towards mid, where we've seen FM consistently take control and then dictate the flow of the map through. If Shaney can find the opening frag via mid and the AWP, then it suddenly opens up Team Infused chances, but he has to be so diligent that he doesn't get traded off the bat. See if he can do it. FM getting ready. They have the utility in hand to allow a member to try and cross on over safely.
FM ready and waiting, poised to strike out towards mid, but not only that, a split to come in, of perhaps even fake over towards A. It's kind of very open right now in terms of where they want to head towards, so certainly hints towards the idea this push might begin to formulate as Fry to take down Shiki in mid, already starting off strong. The AWP of Shaney, though, is going to get a peek on towards Pulse to at least bring things to a bit more of a closer equation. As Stanley and Co still grouped up in mid, they get themselves those smokes down, but look at Infused. They're all bunched up. FM have got them right where they want them to. Now they can transition in towards this B play. This was a fake after all, and we saw right through it. Unfortunately for Infused, they had no idea. Now they're banking on Aussie. He will find one, but he needs to find a second, and he's got to drop that bomb. He's so close, but so far. Stanley jumping around the place, 12 HP, all the difference. But the push comes in from Apps. This could end him right here. He's still spraying. Aussie trying, but he fails. Shaney comes in, though. The insurance policy for the CT side. They have a man advantage.
He bought time. That's all he needed to do, was stop the plant coming through. He bought enough time for his teammates to rotate, and now it's just Nilzinho and the AWP here. The bomb in their possession. Nilzinho trying to find those quick flicks as he picks the corner and does find Lumji. It's a 1 versus 1, and it's just Pickles here trying to find the angle. 10 seconds left, and it's gonna be Nilzinho finishing it off with a headshot onto Pickles. A Team Infused. I was gonna praise Aussie so hard as he bought the time, but unfortunately they threw it all away.
That was some impeccable Counter-Strike. That really was quite something. That really brings out the excitement. That's why we watch Counter-Strike, right? Seeing those plays, that uniqueness from FM to be able to realize that, okay, we can go for what seems like a bit of a committal towards A, but fake them out and actually head towards B. It's so smart, and it really gives them such a big reward as now. Here's their gift, a free round on the clock. As Infused are going to be sitting tight with these Eagles, trying to make something happen. Aussie with the Kevlar, sure, that's perhaps a straw you can clutch towards, and you've got to find yourself one, make that 2. But Azilio is still going to end you. As FM, they have the prowess. They're the one to turn this scoreline back on its head. As we go to 3-5, the advantage well and truly onto this T side. Now, we have to see a response from Infused. Let's see if my statement at the start of this map is going to hold true. Is it going to be back and forth? Is it going to be 2 teams trading rounds? Or was it just FM slow to start, but hard to deliver?
Certainly could be the case here, but Team Infused now, at least, it sounds so sad, at least they have the full loss bonus to bank on, that they can continuously start to make plays onto FM, try and work out where things are going wrong and try and salvage this half as we head into this 9th round. Unfortunately though for Pickles, he is the first casualty, and FM now have a split defense to work with here. Infused have to be very careful where they commit men to. They can't afford to overlap too much. They are going to try and hold every angle as possible as for. This frag grenade will push Aussie into a tough position. In fact, Stanley drops down. He's going to just throw it out instead. Not too much damage though. Aussie will be fairly happy with that one so far, but FM, they have the entire map to work with, and we've seen them so constantly be able to work the map perfectly. Weber will come through and find that frag onto Lumji. Aussie though trades it back before Pulse finishes it off. Shiki and Shaney are last men alive. It is Shaney on the side of the AWP. Shiki from this really short position, fighting 2 and 40 seconds left now. Shaney still not having his position revealed. It's the wildcard position. Farai doesn't know he's there, and he gets spotted.
Oh,
Shot misses Shaney. The moment of truth, and the truth is out. Unfortunately now for Infused, they have to try and defuse this bomb. Shiki has a defuse kit, and he is making his way over. Firebox to become fiery as Fry is pushed into Shiki's hands. That will be the kill coming over, but Nilzinho on the ramp going to spot out Shiki, and now it's all on Shaney. 2 HP, the pistol out, and the time is ticking down. No defuse kit on this Orba, and Nilzinho once more will clutch the round for FM. A crucial shot missed sealed the doom for Team Infused.
There's never been a time that the saying, "you've really got to hit those," has been so fitting. Shaney had to find that frag. He had one job, and he was able to mess it up. The shot didn't connect. It was all but a miss, and things crumbled like a pie for Infused. 6-3 FMR. They are charging away with this.
And now for Infused, an important moment for them. Will their mentality collapse, as all eyes on Infused would have been on Shaney? His AWP in that prime position, his teammates watching to see if he could pull it off. They need to recover. This round may not be it, it's just the pistols once more, but Pickles putting up a nice little case as he finds 2 quick with the Deagle, just leaving Shiki on short where he did so much damage in the previous round. Infused need to pick themselves off the floor, head and shoulders up high, and keep on keeping on, or else the dreams of this series and the comeback in this game will shatter.
Got to mold something out of this. You are 100% right. But FM, what do you do to tackle them? They are right now the epitome of the UK Masters Kraken almost, a Titan-like team who are there to pretty much just try and dip on anyone who opposes them. They were rough to start, sure, but they were able to wake up throughout the season. As we progress, we've seen them get better and better.
I like this. I thought it was Shiki taking over the main AWP role, but it is actually just going to be a double AWP coming through. Infused in this round 11, they have a chance to start pushing the scoreline back in their favor, but they need to be hitting their shots at Shiki. He's been on form, now holding this apt position. He will find Nilzinho, who's been such a threat to Team Infused so far. Throw that smoke out, make sure that they cannot continue this this push without punishment. And this play here, this adaptation, the second AWP in the field, will be a card that FM eSports will have to counter now. Pulse though finds Shaney with his back turned to the wall, and Aussie will have his head taken off as well. Frey, how did he do that? Pushes onto the side and finds one before being taken down. It's all of a sudden a 2 versus 3. Infused falling apart slowly, but it's not done. Shiki still has that AWP, he still has this angle. Can he make work of it?
Inexperience starting to show from Infused that the cracks were then surely apparent out towards A. Fry should never have been able to peek there without being taken down straight off the bat, so really kind of leaves a window open for them to just kind of nonchalantly jump on through, just hop through those hoops, because why not? You get away with it. Shiki can be a pinnacle player though. Started off strong here, and now he starts off again with a frag on towards Pulse. But distance is going to be close. Stanley going to peek right into him. Shiki missing that shot, allows Stanley to get a little bit closer, but finally the repeat comes through, and he lands at Shiki, keeping it going. 30 seconds on the clock. Weber is going to hop around the place. A 1 versus 2. Shiki, no scoping him, right to the face. As it is going to be done and dusted. Shiki, a quadra kill with the AWP. Clearly the missing link, the AWP that Shaney couldn't be. As Shiki is the man to get Infused that round, get them back in play. And right now, the man to hold that AWP over Shaney. The worst thing you can do on a team is just take the AWP out of the hands of your main AWP. especially when he's not performing, because it drags away from the confidence. It doesn't revitalize him, it just puts him into a bit of a deep dark pit where he says, well, I'm clearly not good enough for this. Hopefully Shaney can repair that, hopefully he can up his game and his mentality. But it's a big question to ask because Ozzy already aggressive in towards underpass.
And he hasn't been spotted. He does give up his possession and he won't find any more for it, but it is crucial damage done as the utility was thrown, and now a slow rotate Fry trying to distract the CTs, but everyone have already made their way over to this B site. The bomb, though, has made its way over towards A. FM, they're playing this rotational game. Team Infused took the bait too early before seeing the bomb, and now they will be punished. Fry going to be holding this strong position in CT, and it just leaves Shiki and Shaney. Left Shaney to come into Nilzinho. The FAMAS in hand, he will find the kill. And now the 2 versus 3, 2 versus 2 as it gets taken on down. But they will all drop like soldiers to the slaughter. 8-4 as FM pull forward once more and Team Infused collapse. No guns to buy.
The mortars are flying and the shots, the barrels, the explosiveness of FM. Lay rest the Mirage, a battlefield that Infused seemingly struggled to fight. 8-4. It was close. It was competitive. But our predictions at this point were paper, left to be thrown into the bin, discarded out of things. Because at the end of the day, this is just a very odd matchup. Some stuffy play, some odd decisions. And sure, Lumji will find one, but it's just a trade where these rifles have a clear-cut advantage.
Nothing much to say here in round 13. Team Infused haven't been able to find too much damage, but Aussie in a great position might find some more. Unfortunately not. Pickles has got an AK, is coming from this CT position as Lumji tries to come from behind. But Team Infused here in round 13 aren't really expecting much but some exit frags. As we head into the final 2 rounds of this half here, FM eSports looking to push their advantage to 9-4. It's almost a repeat, a deja vu of the previous game. Lumji though to Hicks 1, that Molotov will do damage. Pickles will burn him alive and leaves this 2 versus 2 where they can continue to try and whittle away at the economy built up. No defuse kits though, so there's no chance of defusing. Lumji just stuck trying to find a 3rd kill for himself. But that is it. Team Infused once more, beaten out here. The clock ticks over 9-4. These last 2 rounds for Team Infused could spell their series against FM.
It really could. It holds so much credibility for this lineup. FM, they are looking for that 11-4. That's really kind of where the stars will align for them. But are they really looking for that? It feels like they've already kind of reached that peak success. Because just look at what Infused can do to respond here. Everything yet again works out to a jigsaw puzzle that FM, they sold 3-4 rounds ago. This Infused, well, we hinted at what they've got to the round. Take a look for yourself. The door is open, the buys are there right in front of you. It's 5.7s, it's 1 rifle, just the 1. That right there is bleak existence as the CT side. They're going to try and make a play. Fry said, no, come on in, come at me. As he will find one, it is going to be a trade for Lumji. Well, that only pushes the CT side further away from that A site, something that they really need to hold on to.
Now Shaney in a tough position in this jungle area. All the terrorists going to be rushing him as Stanley will find the quick frag. Pickles, the AK, can he make the damage for his team? Lumji's got 1-2. They have, and this is the Infused side that likes to throw the upsets in the mix on rounds that seem impossible. Lumji, he finishes it off with a nice 3-piece for himself. And I was wondering when I saw that defuse kit on Aussie, the team obviously knew that they had a chance in the previous round to defuse the bomb. If they had a diffuser, they'd be a loser. This time they do pick it on up. Now heading into this last round, it's all on the table. It's all cards out. Who has that royal flush? FM grouping up towards that B area, but Mirage, obviously a map you can rotate so quickly.
Oh, Shaney, what
great
was
shot.
that?
Shaney back on the AWP and he's been revitalized. That's 2 for him. Infused have woken up. This is the same Infused we saw towards the end of the last game's half, but it was dropped. They cannot allow this momentum to be stolen away from them by FM once more.
Pulse gonna look to find that retrade though, back down on towards Shaney. It's just a retrade as we mentioned, because Shaney has already done so much from mid-window, bringing it to a 5 versus 3 before the round even got going. As Ozzy trying to hold down B, doesn't want to allow Fry too much room to be the player that he's been all of this half, which is the guy to run out of sight completely solo and still get frags. Basically takes the site and allows the rest of the team to roll on through with no care in the world. Now you have to ask the question, how can one player do that? Well, ask Fry, he's the magic right now for FM. As the push begins, Shaney gets a shot and gets punished off the back of that Pulse there. The one right into his chest. They don't check for Aussie though, and that's a problem. It allows him just the one, but Pulse starts to rally around this AWP that he's picked up as he finds himself a second.
Pickles, he's sneaking on behind. Weber now knows that he has a member to deal with. He will start the peak, but Shiki's in this position. They're in a crossfire. They can't plant the bomb safely. And 30 seconds means that time is of the essence. FM need to make a move, and they need to make it soon. Weber starting to sneak on forward, trying to find Shiki in a 1v1, and he will. That's the bomb going down, and now it's all on Team Infused. Diffuse kits in hands, and they have the utility. Will they use it is the question. Pulse gonna just answer it straight away. Pickles will find Weber, but Pulse, the consistent head on FM's body that the team could rely on, will close this out 10-5. A repeat of the last game here, Flakes, and this is where FM started to just run away with things. The momentum was killed at the end of the previous half in the last game, and Team Infused struggled to get it back.
You talk about the head of Pulse though, but FM, they're a beast with many heads at this point. You could argue they've got 3, you could argue they've even got 4. As we've pretty much seen every single player step up to the plate. You know, you can't even knock away with just 4 at this point. You have to say the entirety of their team has been delivering some big frags. And kind of, you look at the CT side, they like to claim these pistol rounds too, but they have a big onslaught of Infused charging at them. But Nilzinho Crisp finds himself one. Stanley still tapping, finds another one towards Aussie. The advantage is in the court of Infused, but response is coming in quick and fast. As taps will start to align, but this time no frags to be connected. Up until Weber says, hold on a second, Flakes. What are you thinking? I can hit these shots. As he takes down Shiki.
Yeah, this is almost all over for Team Infused as they will just get overwhelmed here. Fry didn't even realize that the round was over. Was still looking for some T's to kill, but they had all been taken out. Crisp play from Weber, from Nilzinho. Everyone just landing a single headshot with their first bullet. That will be that first round going towards FM. Now, for Team Infused here, they need to start to fight back. They need to look for those upset plays, reset the economy instantly. FM does not want it to happen though. 5 UMPs, utility for everyone. The diffuse kits split evenly around the roster. A hard task here for Infused, just possibly looking to try and get the bomb down more than anything.
Getting the bomb down would be something very, very beneficial for them in terms of their economy. But what did we see on Cobblestone? What was the phrase we used? We pretty much described this round as the money printer for FM. They've invested in a hedge fund that is all but paying out in the millions. Because that's the goal here for FM, right? They've got the UMPs. They just want to farm it all up. So for Infused, as much as they want the bomb plant, they're going to try their best to deny that as well. They want those frags. They want to find those headshots. Make it costly for FM.
Wow, there it is. Goes without saying, really. UMPs tear through the armless, defenseless Team Infused lineup. But hey, we're here, round 18, and now they should have the economy to start purchasing up. The AK start flooding on in, but it's a risky move. There's no utility to go with it.
For sure. Always a risk. But FM, risk is their middle name. Mid control to be taken, but a big stack coming in from FM. They've got a lot of presence over towards B, but they're going aggressive on A as well. This is a problem. They have to play this one perfectly. If they can't find their frags, they'll be overwhelmed with map control and not be able to hold it, as Pickles already going to strike, finds himself one. The push formulates on B. Aussie to take down Nilzinho. They swing their sword left, right, and center. Weber is going to be on the flank, but another sword is going to be pointed right at him. As the T side, the minute he takes a shot, will be quick to respond. You can see him eyeing up these players. But Pickles, he checks it. Weber gets nothing done at all. Gets all the information, but no real presence. And then a 5 versus 2. What does that change?
Well, it was FM who pushed too aggressively across the whole map and weren't able to find anything for it. But they all did have UMPs heading into this round. This was a throwaway round. Even if they lost it, they're not too concerned because they already made the money with the UMPs. Now they get to upgrade towards those M4s. We get a real gun show going here. Of course, it is weak play. They were just trying to abuse those UMPs to as much of a point as they could. But this round for FM, they have the economy now to purchase on up, I believe. We'll have to see where they go. If they invest more than one AWP, in fact they will. Weber and Stanley comes through with those AWPs. Infused, once more. It's that foothold.
I don't want to be the fool that reads too deep into a round. But just imagine for a second if FM, they play that round so aggressively to set Infused back and say, almost kind of dictate how they're going to play, right? Because for Infused, they want to learn, okay, how are FM playing this side? They're trying to get all that information. So for them going that aggressive all over the map with those UMPs, it actually doesn't give Infused anything at all. So that could be a mind game there. Now, yeah, sure, that's a very faint argument, and I'm not going to sit here and go, that's exactly what happened, but it's something to sit in the back of your mind and just try and congest. And Stanley is going to hold an angle. There's that at least kind of subtle difference that Infused aren't quite going to expect, as he just waits patiently for someone to jump into his crosshair so he can fire off that shot, and he's got support from a rifle too, which is the most important thing when that retrade, that refrag, should we say, comes on through.
Seems like Team Infused, they're aware of the scenario. Will they expect more than one? In fact, they don't have to. Stanley has fallen on back as Nilzinho lost that one-on-one, and now this AWP from Weber and Stanley has to hold fast as the bomb makes its way towards the B site. Kills happen all around. Lumji will find Fry. It means A is wide open, but as is B. They've got everything they want, and they will be able to plant the bomb. Weber, though, finds Shiki rotating, but that will be it. It is just FM trying to hold onto these guns, and a round lost that unfortunately for FM they didn't want to throw away. Unlike the previous one, I do truly believe that FM were comfortable losing the round. Necessarily don't want to lose the round, but if we lose it, it's fine, you know? If we push them with UMPs and we catch them hanging, then that's going to just throw them right out of this game. They've just been pushed by UMPs and destroyed on their crucial gun round.
Well, that rolls into what I was saying with this kind of this big buy here, right? Was when then FM would then try and play much more sensibly, much more standard, but with a few tidbits of aggression.
Yep.
Which kind of was the idea to catch Infused off guard, but what vetoes that entire ideology straight away is that push that came in towards B. There was actually no real need for that. It's okay, you've got the setup, but then you got a bit uncomfortable. You're a bit too antsy to find a frag, that you were too hungry to the extent you got punished for it. So hopefully FM, they do kind of learn that lesson now, that you know what, it might be 12-7, but it is just that. It's getting closer and closer by the second. This time it isn't just you squeezing out 2 rounds. It's got a little bit of a longer way to go.
Certainly do. Team Infused in a much better position this time round. But Weber has that AWP and he will find Shaney's head with a quick flick up. Now Ozzy pushing through the smoke, trying his best to find a return, but it won't happen. Weber too disciplined to peek once more. The man down already, but Team Infused won't help their bid, but you look at the guns on FM eSports side, they have no way of recovering that AWP in mid. The guns will still be an advantage of Team Infused as long as they play this correctly, as long as they keep their wits about them, play some good Counter-Strike. This round's still within their grasp. There's the bomb. It starts to head towards this A side. A minute on the clock here for Team Infused. They are just prodding everywhere. Happy to rotate late if necessary. Stanley trying to find any information. He will find Pickles now. Spots him out. Okay, what does FM do with this? Pickles surely knows that they know he's there. He throws all the utility out, just trying to bait whatever he can, and finds a kill already. Look at this, the rotates from FM over towards the B site as the bomb makes its way in towards the A site. B site. Pulse will be able to hold on A. Now the B is open and the bomb is down. This has gone wrong.
It's been a very awkward round.
Very awkward.
Kind of what you're hinting at right there. It's 2 separate pushes coming through, one being a successful point and one being a bit of a failure, as Pickles, 18 seconds to keep the dream alive, begins his push. The final journey, the big one, up on towards A, as he takes this ride, straps himself in, darts on towards Shadow, trying to force the issue up on towards Palace, flies on through, and Fry takes him down. FM 13-7. Infused, they lose themselves a huge round, as FM, with just some USPs and a bit of weaponry sprinkled throughout, they make it work. Infused, they are going to be able to buy back into this one though, and that is going to be the light at the end of the tunnel. No matter how wavy it may be, it's still there, it's still flickering, keeping it alive.
I don't mind that play there from Infused if the clock had more minutes and seconds in it. Unfortunately, when you leave it that late, it just becomes too awkward to salvage. Now here, as you say, it's a crucial time. They do find the opening frag onto Weber, called out in mid. Infused We'll need to abuse that, split the CTs, and try and break at this defensive place one by one. Now that they have that man advantage, they can certainly start to do that. They can play almost the same strategy as they did in the previous round, but it'll be a little bit more giving. Fry, though, very close. And Aussie gonna pop that flash, but he's caught in rotation. Shaney thankfully jumps on down. He's got the confidence, and he finds 2 of the AWP. Infused trusting their AWP, but Pulse in the window will take him on down. Shiki not quite able to find the trade. It's a 3 versus 2. Infused now with possession of the map, but Pulse rotating quickly towards that ticket roof could stop this push immediately.
Thing is as well, Shiki was spotted, that's why we're seeing this rotate coming through. But Lumji with an eagle pierces Pulse head clean off. It's there to catch him mid-air, mid-jump. And Stanley now was here to be a game plan in terms of that ramp factor.
This bomb plant's so great from Team Infused, as it means that they can watch it from so far away. Stanley, even if he clears out the site, he needs to then take the challenge on to Shiki, and Shiki has the orb. It's not going to get that far though, and Team Infused are able to find that round for themselves. Able to take down FM. They just played the map correctly, and I love the fact that Shaney is back on the AWP. The team has trusted in his instinct despite the fact that he had a poor start and Shiki was showing promise. They put the trust back in him. They said, mate, you are a AWPer, you are a player for this. This is your role. Screw your head on. And he has.
Certainly is something that has to be said almost, to not really beat around the bush. As the push begins over on towards B. The trenches have been dug. The flashes all lined up, ready to be popped. Now all that's left is the infantry to charge forward. This war begins here and it ends here. Aussie trying the first. The pistols begin to try and do some damage. Infused. They slaughter FM, catch them off guard. They had the surprise. An active espionage to be committed. As Fry, a struggling man now in a 1 versus 4, has to sit there with an eagle and work out, okay, what value can I achieve here? Can I go and search for a rifle, pick up an AWP perhaps? Well, let's see as he begins to venture in towards jungle, trying to see, okay, where's this dead body at? Where's that weaponry? Where is Aussie?
He runs into Shaney here. Shaney has no way to support, no way to regain that AWP, but it does look like he is going to back out in the direction his teammates have already. Lumji attempts to jump towards the window because they want to try and get that extra kill onto Fry, but at the moment, it's looking likely that he might just find Lumji in the process. Can he hold on to the AK? He jumps around the corner. He should be able to. That's very unfortunate times. Oh, never mind. Nice wall bang from Shaney, able to finish that one off. He got away with that AK. It's a scary proposition. We've seen how much damage one gun can do when in the hands of FM. And that UMP into an AK? Well, let's just start with an AK and see where we go from there.
Closer and closer we go though. 13-9 now, and well, you could already practically write this one off as 13-10 unless we see some madness coming from FM. The quick CZ push, and well, there's the madness. Finds one, looks for a second, and gets away with it. A double kill so far. Shiki is going to respond though with that frag on towards Fry. Where's the normality at? Come on, Infused. Coax yourself down a little bit. Work out what went wrong. As Shaney, perhaps to be a pinnacle player here, bear in mind, as he comes in from this split, should be able to take down FM from that flank, and that's some big frags for them.
Look at this. FM, they've made the quick rotations based on those early frags. They have Pulse, no, Stanley pushed so far up here, looking to try and stop the rotate from B before it happens. Perhaps won't even get spotted, depending on how quick Team Infused play this. Currently, he's spotted one. He knows one's there, but what can he do unless they come to him? This play from Team Infused. Knowledge to FM about these map rotations, but they are just going to split their forces between the two sites regardless. They haven't spotted the bomb yet. They don't know where it is, and so they will continue looking for it. 46 seconds on the clock. And Shiki looking to push up into Palace here. Try and find Nilzinho. He will find the silhouette of a Nilzinho, but can he find the kill? Nilzinho, he's repositioning now into Shadow. They must know he's there. It's the only possible solution, and that's going to be the Molotov to push him into Aussie's fire. That's Weber taken down by Shaney, and it's just Stanley and Pulse left. Pulse with that AK in hand will drop the bomb at the 22-second mark. Things starting to get a little bit shaky, a little bit scary for Infused as Stanley comes up from behind, and that is all done and dusted. Great counter-strike from FM to be able to play that game and on Team Infused. They just did not know what hit them.
were so sensible the way they backed off, and you could constantly see them almost play a game of chess up against Infused, but FM were literally that kind of action movie line of always 2 steps ahead. They always knew what Infused were going to do, and they were able to one-up them before they could even think about responding. Now, the brunt of the situation, well, it's 14-9. Their scoring didn't go the way we expected. We saw that madness. And already FM, they start off strong. They look for that 15th. They want to end it right here, right now. Pulse, the man to do the work, picks up a frag with that AK-47.
This is the sign of a great Counter-Strike team. Steps ahead of their opponents is that they're able to play that mathematical game of chess, that calculated push to push the terrorists into a position they want and then pincer them just like that. Team Infused, just 3 as they try and push onto the A site, but Pulse will find the AWP of Shaney. Just leaves Lumji and Shiki. Shiki with the bomb over towards this A ramp area. Team Infused at the verge of giving FM their match point, their series point as well. We'll have to pull up something magical in a 2 versus 5. Lumji pushes the smoke, he finds Fry, he finds Pulse as well. The site is now open. A chance here if they rotate quickly enough. The bomb gets planted and Lumji is going for the aggression. Can he find Stanley? Stanley hiding, looking, the free fire there, but Lumji will be forced back. And now for Infused to hold this site, keep them in this game, not play for an overtime. It's all on this.
They fall short though. Stanley aggressive with the CZ, takes the head off Lumji. Shiki gives the respond, peeks out, gets a second on towards Stanley, bringing it to a 1 versus 1. Weber caught mid-air but hits the shot with the AWP. Weber will secure FM their 15th round. FM competing for a guaranteed spot at the UK Masters playoffs. This right here is true hype, it's true excitement, because FM are 1 away from getting that security. A team that we pretty much desperately want to see at I-60 at this point. It's got to be said, I want to see them play not only in UK Masters, but in the LAN itself, just to see what reckoning they're going to do. You talked about them as a UK team, you talked about this is the great sign of a team. This is why they're considered one of the best, the top dogs in the UK. As Infused now have to try and bring this one back, still fight, still swing. But Weber already positioned to do so much damage here, will eventually fall back though, doesn't quite go for that peak. And that removes the idea that you can get that double kill. But instead, it is going to be some counter-aggression coming from Shiki over towards Connector.
Just an AK as far as the rifles goes for Shiki, the 2 UMPs and then Deagles in the hands. Very pretty positioning, but a dire situation for Infused here. They need to try and make it work, push towards that overtime. Remember, the round difference between Imperials and them may just be what it takes to get them towards the playoffs. So every round they claw back at FM, push that difference down and further down will be great for them. Of course, a win would be better, but Weber says something like that's not happening, mate. Shaney with the UMP up close will find the head. Perhaps this round will go Infused's way. We've seen it already. FM able to fight back consistently as Pulse will open up. The bomb's been planted. It's a 3 versus 3. A 3 versus 2 as FM try and find more. That's Shaney out of position. It's all on Shiki. This man has stepped up many times for Team Infused. He has been a bit of a rock for them. But in this final round, round 25, as the bomb starts to be defused, it's just going to be defused. There's nothing to stop it. That will be FM 16-9, taking the series to 0 and locking their place to the UK Masters playoffs.
And what a team, what a way to say they almost deserve it, right? They worked so hard to get here, improving themselves throughout the season, but not only throughout this season, but across the UK eSports space.